What's up, my people? What's up, my people? Good afternoon. What's up, world? It is Thursday, June 20th, and I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because with him, all things is possible. And this No Doug Zone episode is sponsored by Matchbout. Follow Matchbout on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Matchbout, the best sponsorship in the land. What's up, people? Yes, 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 I'm back. Yes, yes, I'm back at it. Y'all just see me over here on Tuesday. Back at it, man. It's hot as hell outside, boy. Feel like a thunderbird out there, boy. If you ever drunk that stuff is woo. I hope everybody that's out today is keeping it real cool, real simple. It is a hot day, so today is not a day to be running around acting the ass or getting into anything. It's hot. Please find a cool pool or stay in your house, stay under the AC. If you're gonna be out doing anything stupid, or if you can't control your alcohol, your marijuana, whatever it is you do, maybe you don't need to go outside. So let's just be mindful of that. No drinking, no driving, no going to people's cookouts and messing it up when they're having a good time. Because some people don't like to see you happy. So let's just be mindful. Let's have some fun while we out here. The summer's beginning. Well, it's already hot. Really, tomorrow's supposed to be the first day of summer, but you might as well say it began already. So it is what it is. A special happy birthday to my brother, my blood brother, my biological brother. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday, bro. I love you. Wish you many more. And I wish I would have been down there. A lot of birthdays I missed that I should have been down there. But we gonna find ways to fix that. Gonna find ways to fix that. All right. So I've been waiting since last Thursday, I believe, to do this. I told you every Thursday I wanted to do it. We've been talking about throwback fighters. This one particular Michael Moore, you know, who fought at lightweight, the heavyweight, first Southpaw heavyweight champion, who just became a Hall of Famer 2024. Um, who I liked, who were in a lot of big fights, in my opinion. I always watched the documentary with him and George Foreman. I love it. So we're gonna get back to that. I was supposed to did that last week and my mind wasn't right, but now it's we back to where we need to be. So let's go ahead and get into it. So for my newcomers, my regulars, everybody, welcome to the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go. Eric Jordan, my brother, what up, E? I'm gonna just call you EJ. My brother EJ. The last time I talked to you, you was on my live for the shoe and the media workout, man. I got to start calling you. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I wish I would have been with him for his birthday. Sucks, but you can't be everywhere at once. But not only happy birthday to him, but happy birthday to everybody who has a birthday. And I'm still going to say congratulations to the class of 2024. Um, like I said, and be mindful too. It's amateur. It's the week of my amateurs to fight this week. I'll be live Saturday. This Saturday I'll be live from the infamous John's Gym. My amateurs, they going in this week. So y'all know how I am. Y'all know how I feel about them. So yes, this week. Hopefully next week, y'all. I'll get some news about this Shakur Stevenson, the press credentials, and we can go ahead and get things started if we can. So we'll see how that works. So That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Michael Moore. Um, you know, before then, I didn't know nothing about Michael. I'm not gonna lie and say I grew up at the time as a Michael Moore fan. Wasn't familiar with him. Um, which there was a lot of guys I wasn't familiar with at the time. But it wasn't until the George Foreman fight when I got really familiar with him. Um, him being young and being 26 years old and taking a fight like that, which a lot of people say they didn't think he would beat him. George would beat him. Um, and then there was some people who felt like Michael would beat him. And it could have went either way. And I believe that George was losing until he caught Michael with that. Which is funny how in boxing that happens. That you could be winning a fight and then it's just always that one moment where you just you get caught. But um to see where Mike came from as far as a Hall of Famer up to where he was at was just unbelievable. Um, and I believe, well, no, because Holyfield came from a cruiserweight, so I can't say that's lightweight is under that. Um, to see him come where he came from was unbelievable, and being the first southpaw to do what he did is what made him special. Um, we won't probably see too many guys do that today, because today is just set up different. And let's talk about before we could even talk about fights, we got to talk about him growing up in the infamous, you know, Crunk Gym, being under Emmanuel Stewart, and we already know what type of demons coming up out of that gym. I don't mean demons in a bad way. Um, Tommy Hearns, um, who I believe was I don't think he was still fighting at the time when he joined. I don't know. But there's so many people. If you go down the history of the Crunk Gym, which that's the gym one day I'm looking to go to one day and check it out. Just as well as other gyms all over the world. But him coming up in that was already a plus for him because there's not one person who didn't know anything about the Crunk Gym unless you just wasn't doing your homework. Um, Seeing him come from where he came from because the story is always typical, especially with a black fighter. It's always typical. Somebody came up and either came up with a single mother, didn't know who their father were, or their father was locked up, or their father didn't want to be in their life. Typical stuff. And I say typical because we always hear that. That's nothing new. Michael Moore, in my opinion, was more special than what people gave him credit for. I think just at the time, um, for some people, he might have been hard to deal with, hard to work with, and people thought whatever they thought about him, he was mean, he was this, he was that. But to me, he was a hell of a fighter, hell of a fighter. Fought Evander, fought a couple people. There would have been a lot more people I would like to see him fight that he didn't fight. I would have loved to see him in there with Shannon Briggs. I would have loved to see him with Riddick Bowe. Hell, I would have loved to see him with Lennox Lewis, um, Tommy Morrison. There's a couple of people I would have loved to see them in there with. He got Evander Holyfield, so that's not that bad. And they wanted to take the credit from him. Well, they seemed like they were taking the credit from him, saying that Evander was going through something with his heart, which I don't like to make excuses, and we hear that in boxing even still today. We hear some of the weakest excuses of why a guy didn't perform the way he was supposed to. And my thing is, if that guy decides to get in with a problem, heart problem, foot problem, brain problem, whatever the case may be, is that's his problem. That's why it's called a problem, your problem. And he beat him. They want to make excuses. And you know what? This is gonna sound crazy. This is gonna sound super crazy, but the universe did George Michael Moore a favor by having George Foreman win, because I'm telling you, had not George won, that they would have said George was too old. He was too slow. They would have said anything, and and at that time, we can't keep taking victories away from fighters because of something physically or mentally that they're going through. I think that's just a it's bullshit to me that we do that. So had he, even if he had beat George, do you know what some of the things they would have been saying? It would have been crazy. I can only imagine some of the things they would have said about the whole situation. Man, George was too old, and he shouldn't have been in there with Michael Moore. He was Michael Moore's. He was young enough to be Michael Moore's. I mean, Michael Moore was young enough to be his son. George was old enough to be his father. So it's funny how the universe works, because, like I said, they already tried to take the win away from Evander, saying because Evander had heart problems. And it's sad because we still hear that same kind of talk. That same kind of talk today. We hear that. And I go, damn, ain't nothing changed. 30-some years later, you still hear that same kind of talk. But Michael, to me, if you had a top 25 list of heavyweights, there was no way in God's name you weren't going to put him on there. It didn't matter. He didn't have to be your favorite fighter. You had to add him. But some people probably wouldn't add him to a list. I never said a pound for pound list. So, because y'all always say we don't put heavyweights on pound for pound. Not a pound for pound list, but if you have the top 25 of your favorite heavyweights, there's probably a busload of reasons why you wouldn't put them on your list. Y'all will probably start over who he fought. Yeah, I would have put him on there, but when you take George Foreman and you take Evander Holyfield, and there was somebody else I can't think of, you can't just put him on there because of that. You got to start looking at what he did as coming from light heavyweight to a heavyweight. Bruce Gas, what's up? You understand what I'm saying? B7, what makes a boxer great is when they take capability to learn and grow to be better. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. So let's look at what Michael Moore, also with his accomplishments as a light heavyweight, going from a light heavyweight to a heavyweight, did pretty damn good. I mean, he could have came up as a heavyweight for one fight and got out. He could have pulled a Roy Jones. He could have came up there for one fight and got the hell out of there. So, in my eyes, just him going up to fight, getting a fight with Evander and George Foreman was good enough for me. Yeah. Why didn't he fight Mike Tyson? Why didn't he fight Lennox Lewis? Shannon Briggs, Tommy Morrison. There's a busload of people he could have fought. Like, y'all just be, yeah, that would have been great to see all that. But we ain't gonna act like back then everybody fought everybody, because there was a few fights that didn't happen. If you sit and pay attention, Everybody didn't fight everybody. It's just that it didn't take so long for us to see fights. Think about it. Every heavyweight didn't fight every heavyweight. Every heavyweight didn't fight every heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? When you take the time to think about it. But if you have a list, you got to put Michael on that list, man. To go from where he went from light heavyweight to heavyweight and all his accomplishments being the first southpaw heavyweight to win a title. I mean, if we can't credit him at least on that, then I think we got a little bit of hate in our blood. Because if you have a top 25 list of your favorite heavyweights, I don't give a damn if you got them at 10. I don't care if you put them at 25. You got to put them on that list. You got to put them on that list. There's no way you can convince me that I don't have to put them on that list. Then who would take his place? I can't tell you what your list should look like, but if I got a top 25 of my favorite heavyweights, he's definitely going on that list. Yo, it's too easy today. The old school judges are all gone. Yeah. Yeah, Bruce. Fortunately, we got a bunch of ABC 1, 2, 3 ass judges walking around. What can we do though, right? What can we do? And that's another thing. I would like to. My next goal that I'm going for is to get me a judge up here, man. I got to talk to a judge. I need a judge up here. I got to get a judge. I got to get a judge. So I'm definitely going to be trying to get a judge or somebody I can reach out to. A referee too. It's a lot of things I'd be wanting, get into about that. So, but when we look at Michael Moore's life and the things he went through and his accomplishments, and then him just becoming a 2024 Hall of Famer for this year it was great. Call Rick Laser. Oh yeah, he is a judge. You know what? I definitely would have to do that. I would definitely have to call him because I think that everybody's so desperate to get these fighters on their shows, which I have no issue with. But why not get a judge or a referee on the show? Why not? So we can get a clear understanding of why, when it comes to these judges, why the scorecards are so wide. Or for a referee, why is it whenever there's a big fight, you guys don't let these guys get it in? You quick to break it up. Simple questions like that, right? Smash my like button too, y'all. Please, please, please. This is old school with boxing. This is a legend we're talking about. You understand? This is a legend we're talking about here. We're not talking about your ordinary person. We're speaking on a legend. Please smash that like button. Salute, salute, salute. Smash that like button, please. So I don't try to go down the list of everybody that Michael fought. I ain't got time to break this down. There's some people who can go through all that. I start looking at the stuff that he accomplished from what I saw with my eyes and what I've actually, and I'm talking about documentaries and stuff that I've looked up on. I credit him for that. It even taken a George fight, man, because let me tell you something. I don't give a damn how long George had been out the game. George walked back into boxing, which was 90, 91. He was active. We ain't gonna act like George had been out all that time. That his first fight back was a Michael Moore fight. Y'all forgot he was active the year before in '93. What we talking about? Did we forget that? Oh, how we forgot that, right? We act like he was just the 10 years he was out was from the what from the late 70s to the 80s. Then 19 what was it 1990 91 he came back. So we ain't gonna act like and then 3 years later he gets a shot at Michael Moore. We ain't gonna act like he just popped out of nowhere like the Undertaker. 89, George came back in 80, so it wasn't, or 89. I thought it was 89, and I was like thinking, like, I didn't want to say it. I wasn't too sure. Okay, so I was a year off. All right, 89. So we're not going to act like he took 10 years. He took 10 years off. I was trying to think of the years that he took off. Yeah, so what he took 78 to what? Yeah, yeah, he took 10. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The judges that I don't get in this bias. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They do. I know they see it from a certain point of view when they're watching the fight. I've talked to some judges and I've talked to some referees, and that's why I would like to get one on here to get because those are the best kind of people to have on the show too as judges because we go out our way to really judge them. we do exactly what they do. We judge, and but I would love to get one of them on there to so they can give us something a little different from what we think that we've been seeing. Because when you're watching the fight at home, I've been at fights where I've actually been there live to see it, and I go at the end, I go, well, what freaking fight was you watching, bruh? That's just how I be feeling because I'd be like, wait a minute, yo, I don't know what fight y'all was watching, but it's all good. But Michael, to me, um, he's gonna be what he is, and that's a Hall of Famer. I'm glad that he got that call. George took 78, 1970. Yeah, see, I said 70. See, you said 77. I was about to say from 78 to 80 something. Yeah, so we both was thinking the same thing, Bruce. Yeah. And come back. All right, yeah. And come back 2 years later after that. That's crazy. So even though he had that time off, he came back 2 years later after that in 89. It's crazy. And even still, Michael would have beat him. He would have beat him. But y'all would have made excuses for that. Y'all would have made excuses for that. Oh, y'all would have made so much excuses for that. That is ridiculous. Hold on, y'all. So yeah, sorry, y'all. Somebody's walking by playing music real loud, so I didn't want that on my tube. But yeah, but Michael, he is what he is. He's a Hall of Famer. He deserves to be where he's at. Um, and all praises go out to him because I know he just did an interview recently with Fight Hub or Fight Hype. I believe it was Fight Hub. He was explaining about what he should have way more than what he has, and he was, I don't want to say going through the motions, but a lot of stuff that he was saying was making sense. about why all these retired fighters are not getting jobs as referees, as judges. And I agree. Even as commentators, which I think respectfully that keeps some change in their pocket. Probably a whole lot more than what they got now. Because Michael will tell you, hey, I'm broke. Nobody ever wants to hear that about a fighter. I'm blessed to be able to talk to some fighters who we grew up watching. And the last thing that I want to hear is something like that. But it's true. And it just really it hurts to have to hear that fighters have to they have to feel like that. But it is what it is. Sorry, y'all. I'm over here trying to get my video together, and I'm having some issues. Oh, I got it now. Okay. All right. Bro, earn it becoming a Hall of Famer. Yeah, earn it becoming a Hall of Famer. Earn it becoming a Hall of Famer. Yes, exactly. Um, but getting a referee or getting a judge is definitely something that I'm going to be working on next. It would have been great to have a guest or something on here for that. Um, I don't know if Michael Moore was around now. Who would y'all want to see Michael fight? Michael Moore is in his prime right now. I don't know who would y'all want to see him fight. Give me somebody right now in the heavyweight division that y'all want to see him fight. Who would be a candidate? So who? I mean, because to see him around now, I think he probably wouldn't be everybody's favorite heavyweight, but he definitely would be a threat. He would be dangerous. Stormy B man, Sensei, what's up, Sensei? What's going on, Sensei? Okay, what am I doing here? Wait a minute, y'all. Okay, so I would think that if Michael was here today or in the heavyweight division today, he definitely would be a. You would want to see Michael Moore and AJ? Michael Moore and AJ. Hmm. That would be an interesting one. That would be very interesting. Um, I didn't never think of that one. That was that I would a Brian I mean Egypt I never yeah I know Anthony Joshua. I just never thought of that. I never thought of him. Okay, okay, okay. That's y'all give me somebody else. Y'all give me somebody else. Who else? Hold on, let me send this link out. Give me a second, y'all. Hold on. Parker, Joseph Parker. Yes, Tommy B. Joseph Parker. That probably would be a good one. That probably wouldn't be bad. Let me send it this way. I'm trying to think of somebody. I would probably take Andy Luis maybe. Let's see. It's Andy Luis. I'm not gonna say Jared Anderson. That would be too much right now. That I wouldn't say that. You know what though? Maybe. But that probably would be bad for him. I don't know if I'll do that. I don't know. Hold on, give me a second, y'all. Tap back in. Yeah, too many for the day. Stormy, I sent you the link in the Instagram if you're not busy, brother. If you are, don't worry about it. I didn't even know if you had Instagram. I just put your name in. Yeah, it's too many for Michael, but it would be good to see him if he was still in. I definitely would have enjoyed it just to see what it would have been like. Who knows, Michael Moore or Wilder? Who knows? It could have been that. Could have had a Michael Moore and Wilder situation. We could have had a Michael Moore or driving currently. Oh, okay, don't worry about it, Stormy. We could have had a Michael Moore and Usyk. No, who knows? Who knows? Michael Moore and Usyk would have been all right. You know, one moving from light heavyweight, the other one moving from cruiserweight. That would have been cool. But you know, the whole point of doing these having these conversations about these legends is giving them their flowers. And a lot of people, I don't see y'all doing it, and I don't respect it. I don't respect it because um, I'm like, these are the guys who opened the doors for the guys that became your favorite fighters. So I don't understand how you guys are not giving them the respect that they deserve. Like, we got to make it make sense. You don't have to sit up here and go through a guy's whole record and what he did and who he fought and all that. But you got to acknowledge what a man did, because the same way you go crazy over your favorite fighter today, right? Eventually your favorite fighter is going to be in the same predicament as all these other fighters, where when it's all said and done, him too will be in the Hall of Fame one day, and you'll be looking for it. So, and he's not going to stop being spoken about. You're not going to do it. 20 years from now, 30 years from now, you're still going to talk about Devin, Tank Shakur, Teofimo, any of these guys. And when the next generation is coming up, you can't sit there and dismiss the guys who came before them, right? Because everybody has opened the door for somebody, and we can't forget that. So just keep that on your mind. that I don't care how old school boxing conversation is, it's important to have these conversations for a reason. Is to never forget. Is to never forget these guys. I don't have to sit up here and tell you every fight that Michael Moore had. I don't have to tell you um, uh, I don't have to tell you where he used to live. I don't have to tell you where he grew up at. I don't have to tell you how many siblings he has. That's not even the point of doing the show. It's about giving these guys their flowers. I don't think y'all understand that. Giving these guys their flowers. I mean, they're already going through enough stuff in life where people are even forgetting what they did, not acknowledging what they did, don't want to talk about them, trying to brush them under the carpet, the rug, whatever you want to call it, and forget about them. You can't do that. Smash my like button. Like, share, and subscribe, y'all, if y'all haven't already. I refuse to do it. I don't have to be up here being super knowledgeable and I gotta break down this fight. I gotta break how that went. I don't really have to do all that. I'm not in that department to do all that. Holy sheesh, Nick. Oh, you know what? I did find that out that they gave him back the O, but he's still taking the 2 years off. So yeah, he wants to take the 2 years off while Ryan is off for 2 years too because of him getting banned or on suspension, whatever, and he wants to come back and do a rematch. I'm gonna get into that, not now. That won't be a conversation I'm gonna have now because y'all will talk about that so much now. By the time the 2 years come, we all will be sunk in the face and drained because we didn't talk about it. But that's gonna be a conversation somewhere in the future. We definitely gonna get into that. I just feel like if they was gonna do that for him, they should have did it for Wilder too, because yeah, but that's another story. So these conversations will always come up. Stormy, if you can, Stormy, I'm gonna need you next week, brother. I'm gonna need you next Thursday, brother, if you're available. I don't know if you're gonna be driving at the same time, but you might want to park over. You might want to park your car for this. All right. So next Thursday, this is a guy I was supposed to did a couple Thursdays ago and never did it, but I'm going to do it next Thursday. We're going to talk about Aaron Pryor. So, Eric Jordan, if you're more than welcome, you can join me. Anybody who wants to be in the topic is more than welcome to join me. So, Aaron Pryor is who we're gonna be getting into it with. Yeah, Stormy, I'm gonna send you my number. Eric Jordan, I'm gonna send you my number too. So yeah, Aaron Pryor next Thursday, and every Thursday we're gonna come with something different. We're gonna try to go back as far as we can. I didn't do Muhammad Ali, but I know I did Joe Frazier, I did George Foreman, I did Michael. I'm not just doing all heavyweights. The class doesn't matter. I did Pernell Whitaker. There's a couple guys in smaller weight classes that I'm going to get. So yeah, we're gonna do that. But it's important. Smash that like button, y'all. Jeff Spark, what's up, my guy? It is important to have these conversations. It's not always. I'm not knocking anybody who gets up here and that they're knowledgeable and they want to break down the fight, I don't want y'all saying that I'm saying that. I'm telling you what it is that I don't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people will go, you don't speak on it, or you don't do this and do that because you don't know this and you don't know that. Cool. I look at a lot of documentaries with these guys because believe me, in my house, I got nothing but time. And I look at a lot of these documentaries. I listen to a lot of different interviews. I might watch a couple fights. And probably like when I get off here, I'm probably gonna watch something with Aaron Pryor. I'm sure I'm going to watch something with Aaron Pryor. And you know, we're gonna do that probably around the same time, Thursday. Um, so let's give credit where credit is due. You know, Michael Moore to me was a hell of a fighter. He's definitely in my top. He's definitely in my top 10. He doesn't have to be in your top 10. We don't have to argue about why is he in the top 10. We don't have to argue about why is he on your favorite. Why is he one of your favorite heavyweights? Because people just think they could just constantly keep doing that, and you can't keep doing that. Like you don't have to explain every minute to somebody why this and why that, why this, why that, because you'll really be speaking to deaf ears because people wouldn't understand anyway, especially trying to talk to today's fighters. I mean, today's fans. Today's fans are the worst. They're the worst, and they're not ones that I really like to have to go back and forth with because they really don't understand. They only understand today's boxing. But if Michael was in the heavyweight division today, being the same age he was when he fought George Foreman, oh man, we would have an issue. It would probably be a lot of, I mean, guys today are bigger, so there's probably be a few guys that he wouldn't be able to do that with. But who knows? You know, you remember the guy when he was a light heavyweight. No, he wasn't a light heavyweight. He was a heavyweight at the time. Y'all saw me. What was the guy that what was the guy that Michael knocked out? The big guy who was about 6'10". He was about 6'10". Remember, he had like that Muhammad Ali type look, little high top, big, tall guy. The guy was about 6'10", 6'11". Michael knocked him clean out. I can't think of dude's name. Come to think of it, I never knew his name. Let me stop acting like I ever knew his name. I just know I remember his face. Shit. Now I'm gonna have to go back to watch it. Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch this documentary where it shows dude in the face. Yeah, Mike the Giant White. There you go, Mike the Giant White. Yeah. Man, listen, man. Hey, shoot, that dude was 6'10", I believe. Jesus Christ, that dude had no business even in. Man, I agree with you there. Only follow box. Yeah, they only follow boxes. They don't follow history. Eric Jordan. I don't know everything, but thank God for people like Stormy B. Thank God for other guys out there that's content creators that sometimes they have to remind you of what boxing is. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being caught up in the Tank Davis or Shakur or Carissa Shields, Alicia Baumgartner. It's no crime in that. But you got to remember, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, they'll be Hall of Famers themselves. And the ones that's coming after them, we have to remind them, like, wait a minute, they're the ones that opened the door for you. You know what I'm saying? And some of these fans, so-called, need to be reminded of that. They need to be reminded of that. Because the problem with boxing is not so much the people that's in boxing, it's these so-called fans. That try to sit there and convince you that I want to see some of the great fights, and y'all don't want to see nothing. You want to see your favorite fighter keep winning but not earning his wins. Yeah, they do be D-Ride. They D-Ride a lot. And I'm like, you have just nothing against you liking who you like. I'm not a fan of anybody. I've gotten to the point lately where I'm just a fan of boxing. So whenever there's a Shakur versus Tank, you can't even ask me what side I'm on because when he just fought Frank Martin, I didn't pick a side. Rather, if I knew what was going to happen or not, I was just glad to see two brothers get in there and one help the other one feed his family because that's the main goal. We got families to feed. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see two brothers get in there and do it, and they got in there and did it. And I'm hoping that down the line we see more fights like that. Hilla the teacher, what's up, my brother? Salute. Smash that like button, my people. At Michael Moore at the gym. Yeah, yeah. You know what's so crazy? Michael Moore DM'd me, right? He started following me on Instagram. This is crazy, right? Because I'm not stupid. Usually when I see people, I'm like, nah, let me check them. And I text him. I got the text messages too. I got proof. I text him and he texts me back. He said, nah, he LOL, but he's like, nah, it's really me. Now I could have been something like a groupie and been trying to call him and do all that. I didn't do it. I just took his word for it because I've had somebody before say that they was somebody and they wasn't. But yeah, it was dope. Like I just sent this video to him. I just sent this live to him, hoping that he would see it. Maybe one day I'll have him on the show. Maybe one day I'll have him on the show where you guys can come on and y'all can ask questions. But it's important to have these topics and conversations. Hilla too. I'll be talking about Aaron Pryor next Thursday. Every Thursday, this is what I'm gonna be doing. Every Thursday, throwback Thursdays, right? Because we get too caught up on what's going on in boxing today. And it's making a lot of us getting our feelings. We start acting like that dude that when that girl didn't want to be with him no more, he didn't know how to take it. That's what we start to act like when it comes to boxing. And it's not even that serious. It's really not. Y'all gonna y'all gonna let the sport of boxing be the death of y'all. It won't be the death of me. It will not be the death of me. I promise you, it won't. Because especially as content creators, um, yes, we are very important for the sport because we push for these fights. We talk about it. We keep these people we keep these people relevant. We keep them. Yeah, yo, Hilla, man. I promise you, that's what they act like. They act like that dude that when that girl said, "I don't want to be with you no more," they ready to go ham, and I'm like, bro, it ain't. It's not even that serious. I was going for Frank Martin because how he been moving lately. You know what? At the end of the day, despite what happened to Frank, he'll be back. He'll be back. I don't think y'all seen my show this morning because I wasn't on here. Um, and it was a very good show. Y'all have to go back to my Instagram. Anybody who follow me on Instagram, I did a good show this morning, and I brought up 4 fighters. Well, yeah, I brought up 4 fighters that I want to see go at it, and they all at 140. Go back to my show this morning on Instagram. It was oh man, it was the how my mind works and how it operates is crazy, and this is why I'm getting into matchmaking. Because hey, how my mind works is I mean my mind I'm a smart dude. I'm far from stupid. But shout outs to Frank Martin for the fight for putting up a hell of a fight and not making no excuses. Because nowadays these fighters got every excuse for why they lost. Yeah, well, I had surgery on this arm. My dog bit my big toe. I was in training and I went to pick up the weights, realized the weights weigh more than I do, and I dropped them on my. Oh, come on now. I know y'all don't y'all act like y'all ain't never heard that. Don't try to convince me that y'all ain't never heard some of the craziest reasons. The reasons for them losing a fight be just as crazy as why they told you they failed the PED test. I rubbed some on my hand and it was from a dog, and then all of a sudden it came up in my system. This is what boxing is coming to, y'all. One big ass circus. And it's time to get rid of some of these red-nosed clowns. The excuses that they come up with, it's like, bruh, how long have you been sitting around thinking about that one? How long? So it's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. But me and Stormy was talking about this about what was it last week? About us as content creators also having a responsibility. We have a major responsibility, and we have people listening to us, whether if they like us or not. You're listening to us, so we have to be mindful of what we say and who we have on our shows. And even who we have on our shows, just watch how we, or watch what we're saying to them. Because, we all want these fighters to come on to our shows. Not just because it's a good look for us, because a lot of us are fans. Even the fighters today, we're fans. Some of us have been fans of them probably since the amateurs. Some of us have been fans with them from the time they started out. That's why amateur boxing is so important to me, because I'm starting out with a lot of guys that potentially, you look up 5, 10 years from now, they're going to be that guy. They're going to be in that position, and then nothing feels better than saying, "Hey, I was there to watch them from the beginning." Like Martin was humble after the fight to learn and grow for him to get better. Yeah, man, some dudes don't do that, man. They be coming out, yo, man, I had diarrhea. You know what I'm saying? I caught the COVID in my left eye. You know what I'm saying? Like, excuses after excuses after excuses. And I'm not saying these things don't happen to the fighters. It just happens too much. Too many excuses, man. One fighter makes an excuse, then here it is. You got 100 of them coming out. Everybody got an excuse. Everybody else is saying everything but let's fight, right? You know what I mean? But yes, shout outs to Michael Moore, man. I definitely hope to get him up here one day. Might work on doing that, and along with some other Hall of Famers. There's a couple of Hall of Famers that I would love to go after. Antonio Tarver. I got my brother Nate Campbell. There's a couple of them I want to go after. And you know what? I think when I have Nate, I'll probably try to get Nate up here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call Nate today and bother him. I don't get to speak to him every day because he too good to be talking to me. But I don't care. I can call him and bother him, and that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I want to start doing that. Getting the legends, and just it's just to me it's important to to do that, not just to talk about how the fights went. And it helps these guys. It helps these guys, and I know it makes them feel good. It doesn't change their living situation. It doesn't change financially how their pockets look, because they have to be at these charity events. You gotta pay to take a picture or sign an autograph or something. Just you gotta look at the predicament these guys are in, man. And to give your life to something that you've been doing all your life and turn around and get nothing out of it, how would that make you feel? It's no different from being in a marriage. What happens if you gave somebody 25, 30 years of your life, and then all of a sudden, like that, you just did it for nothing? You got nothing out of it. That quick is over. Now you like, wait a minute. What happened? It can happen. It can very well happen that way because nobody's promised tomorrow in this sport. Nobody. So never be ashamed or afraid to when you're having these type of topics, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. Well, I don't want to talk about that because who wants to talk about Michael Moore? Nobody wants to hear about him. Nobody wants to hear about none of these guys. Everybody wants to hear about what's going on today. Then over here wouldn't be for you because I'm going to do it. Because every time when I want to throw on some a classic fight, these are the guys I'm running to. Julio Cesar Chavez, um, Duran, whoever. These are the guys that I'm running to. Gotta give these guys their flowers, y'all. We gotta do it now. Um, hold on. Show my appreciation. Okay, there we go. All right. I'm gonna get off in a couple of minutes, about 3 minutes. I'm gonna get off. I didn't want to be on here too long. But yeah, when you go down the list of what Michael Moore has done from a lightweight, from a light heavyweight to heavyweight, right? If you know all his opponents or you're wondering what happened to him after the Foreman joint, whatever, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. He solidified his career. Um, and 30 some years later became a Hall of Famer. Rather, if he thought he would become a Hall of Famer or not, he earned the right to be called a Hall of Famer. Some of you guys today need to earn your right to be called a Hall of Famer. Oh, I'm gonna be a Hall of Famer regardless. You see my Instagram, you see my Twitter, you see my following. That don't mean shit. Your fans can't fight for you, and they don't decide if you go in the Hall of Fame or not. For real. Boy, if you left it up to us to go in the Hall of Fame, if you left it up to us, shh, there'd be a whole bunch of all types of people in the Hall of Fame that don't belong in there. All kinds of people. But in case y'all don't know, like I said, every Thursday, this is what it's gonna be. As the time go on, we're gonna talk about more. If you guys got any ideas, any old school fighters you might want to talk about, you know, you feel free to DM me and go, hey man, I got somebody we can talk about, and I'm cool with it. I ain't gonna tell you that, oh man, y'all can't tell me who y'all want to talk about. I'm gonna decide that. I'm not going to do that. You guys get an idea of who you have. It looks I have an Instagram. DM me. Never be ashamed to say, well, I don't want to do that. It's your show. No, I have no issue with you doing that. You know what I mean? I have no issue at all. It actually helps me because even though there's a busload of fighters out there, it comes to a point where I'm not stopping to think of who it is I want to talk about. And I go, do I want to talk about this guy today? Should I talk about this guy today? And I can switch it up for you from different eras because when we talk about the fighters, they all don't have to be in the same era. You know what I mean? We could be anywhere from the 90s to the 80s to the 70s, going back. Now, I don't know every fighter from back then, but if I could pick one, I'll do it. But this is why we have you guys because you guys are the ones who could always say, "Hey, man, did you talk about him yet? Did you talk about her yet?" So that's what we're gonna be doing over here, keeping it fun and making it fun as possible. So you guys want to come back because we as content creators, we need you guys. I'm gonna be real with you. We need you guys. We need you guys over here because without y'all, we couldn't continue on doing what it is that we do. So it ain't no doubt about it that we need you guys and we appreciate you. As long as you just keep continuing to keep appreciating what we're doing, because it's not easy for us to do what we do. It's not, and everybody's not going to appreciate our work, and that's cool. You know, don't appreciate it. Don't act like you do, and you come over to watch us to be nosy to see what we're talking about or who we talking about. Because you know, everybody assumes that somebody's talking about somebody. Well, when you have a life like I have, we have no time for that. We leave that alone for the children. Because no grown men are doing that, only children. So keep in mind. Um, I would love to stay on here more, talk about Michael Moore. I wanted to really give him his flowers. It wasn't even about coming up here, giving you his whole resume, his whole life, and dragging and all that. I wasn't doing all that. I want to give the brother his flowers as much deserved, and same as I'm going to give the rest of the flowers to everybody else. But next week, Michael Moore, we're going to be getting into it with. We're going to be talking Michael Moore, excuse me, Aaron Pryor next week. Tomorrow, I will be talking about Shakur Stevenson. So I'll be on here. I won't be on Instagram. I'll be on here tomorrow for Shakur Stevenson. Um, that'll probably be towards the afternoon. I think the afternoon is better. A lot of y'all are home, so it's a little better for me. But we're gonna get into it about Shakur Stevenson. You know, he has his fight coming up in another 2 weeks, I believe. So we're gonna get into it about that. But other than that, God bless y'all. Love y'all. Feel free to leave a comment, long as it's respectful. Because if it ain't respectful, I'm going to block you and report you. Depends on what you say. So let's keep it respectful, man. You know what I mean? So we can all come back here again and do it. But tomorrow, well, I'll put the thumbnail up for the day. Well, for tomorrow for Shakur. So I'll put that up and we'll have a whole conversation about that. But peace and blessings, y'all. Love y'all. Everybody be safe. I appreciate y'all support. Shouts to the family, Eric Jordan, Stormy B, the Hiller, my man Bruce, Jeff Spark, and everybody else that been supporting me, man. I love y'all. Catch y'all tomorrow. Y'all know what it is. The No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go.